my voice sound different? I'm sick! I'm recovering from an illness! I'm a small Victorian child who was introduced to 500 different strains of virus, and I got sick! That's what happened to me. Coughing, sniffling. I guess I'll start with my sick story. I remember it happening during the karaoke stream. You remember the off collab that was hosted on Fumoko's channel? On that day, on that karaoke day, I woke up and I'm like, wow, I kind of have a sore throat. It kind of hurts to swallow. It's probably because the air in this area is so dry and I'm not hydrated enough, because being hydrated makes you have to pee often. And I hate peeing, especially in the Far East, because you have to go out of your way to find a bathroom. I'm just like, the less I drink, the less I have to use the bathroom and I have to look for one. I can't believe that every time I pee, or every time I drink, I have to pee. It's awful. That's why I'm not very hydrated. Maybe that's cope. I don't know. Do you think that's cope? It's not cope. It's not cope. And so I had a little bit of a sore throat, but it didn't hurt that much. It just felt really dry and I didn't feel sick. I didn't have any other symptoms except that it was a little uncomfortable to swallow. And then it kind of went away as the day progressed. But in the morning, I think if you hear me in the morning of that stream, I'm like, I have a sore throat. But after that, I was like, I'm fine. It's not sickness. I'm fine. Gigi was patient zero. That is so not true. There's so many people that got sick from Fest. I got hit in the crossfire. And then on the 13th, we went on our Onsen trip. And I was a little low energy that day. Me, Rara, and Cece. And I'm like, sorry, I'm low energy. I have a sore throat. It's not a sore throat. I'm like, I'm not sick, guys. I'm not sick. I don't have any other symptoms of being sick. I don't have a fever. It's just it hurts to swallow a little bit. And I'm making sure I get really hydrated. And I'm drinking a lot of liquids now, even though I don't want to. I was freaking downing Pocari Sweat every chance I got. I was so hydrated. And then the onsen was really nice. And then I felt healed being in the onsen, sitting in the hot bath going, wow, I'm not sick. Never kill yourself. This is beautiful. And on the day that we're returning from the onsen, I canceled stream. Or Rob was like, we should cancel stream. I want you to get better. Because like the entire morning, I'm like, no, I think we can still do it. I think it's fine. We'll just head back to your place immediately after. But I guess she sensed how low energy I was. And she's like, you should take care of yourself. We should cancel stream. And I'm like, okay. So I still wasn't feeling very sick. I got back. I was like, whatever. I was just really dizzy this morning when I stood up for some reason. But that's whatever. Every time I move my head a certain way and I get really dizzy, I'm not sick. That's okay. But I wasn't sick. I was not sick. I was healing. I felt normal. And Gigi Tomo, you know how I was at her house? Well, she was in the Far East that week. So I was like, let's get dinner. By the way, I may or may not be sick. She's like, okay. So we got dinner and we went into a perfume shop. And they handed us like, you know, a sample paper for us to smell it. And I was shoving that up. I'm like right up in my face trying to smell it. I'm like, does it smell like anything? And she's like, it's kind of strong. And I'm like, I can't smell it. She's like, bro. We went to our dinner after that. We got sushi. And I'm like, I have terrible news. I can't taste it. And I usually hate ginger. I hate ginger so much. I put ginger in my mouth and I'm like, I can't taste the ginger. And we ordered one wasabi and I'm like, I can't taste it. And she's giving me this look. You know what she's thinking. She's like, oh my God. Like in her head where she's like, get away from me. The entire time I'm like, I'm going to kill myself. Then me and Gigi Tomo went to our friend's house because she's like, I have test, come over. So we go over to their house and they pull out some test and we take it and we're like, where are the control lines? What kind of test is this? And then they're like, oh, this expired in 2022. I went to 2 pharmacies being like, do you guys have any tests here? And they're like, no. And then this is when I very pathetically went to Mane-chan and I was like, do you know where I can find some tests to take? And then Mane-chan's like, uh-oh, let's go to the doctor. And then in my head, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Go to the doctor? Are you kidding me? I haven't been in a doctor in so long. Doctor? How expensive? I am not going to the doctor. Mane-chan was like very assertive, being like, when are you free tomorrow? And I'm like, I think I'm free at this time. And then Mane-chan's like, okay, I booked you an appointment. I'll pick you up. And I'm like, okay. So I went! And they tested me for many things to see what's wrong with me. And I'm dying. And Mane-chan was like, it'll be okay. And I'm so doomer. Like, the entire morning, I was looking up, like, will I get my taste back? And then people with the most doomer mindset be like, I never got my sense of smell back and it's been a year. And I'm like, that's gonna be me! I'm gonna be so sad! And it'll be nothing worth living for if I don't get my sense of smell and taste back! Because, oh my god, before this trip, I don't know why I brought this up, but my mom messaged me and she was like fear-mongering me and she was like, watch out, there's so many people getting sick in the Far East. And she sends me an article of some actress dying because she got sick in the Far East. And I'm like, what the hell are you sending me? But she unpacked my bag and put a bunch of medicine inside. I'm like, I won't need this. I did end up using it. So thank you, Gigi Mama, for packing all that medicine. And then she packed, you know, I forgot what it's called, but you know, like the herbal ointment that has a really, really, really strong smell? When your parents force it onto you and it stings and it's really, really cold and it has that really, really strong smell. It's not Tiger Balm, but it's like similar to Tiger Balm, but it's another thing. It's the ointment, but Asian. And I couldn't smell it! I was like dabbing onto my finger and then rubbing it and I was like, my chest was burning and then the entire night I was like, oh my god, I can't smell it. And at the doctor's, well, I took the test, they shoved a swab up my nose, I sat there for 15 minutes being doomer, and then the doctor calls me in with my results and they're like, yeah, you just have a loser cold, got nothing, you're just congested, it'll come back. We have like the test in front, all negative. You're like, yeah, it's just a cold. Get out of here. Here's some medicine. And then I was like, whoa, oh, okay. Just me sitting here with my loser cold. My checkup, my day of appointment, last minute checkup, very nice little clinic, was less than $20. I was so shocked. And then they gave me an entire light of medicine for a week where I had to take like 5 pills every meal. And that was less than $10. And I was like, whoa, wow. And Mane-chan's like, yeah, that's why you should go to the doctors while you're here. And I was like, damn, I was just gonna die. So afterwards, I felt pretty good. And then I basically got my sense of smell back the day that I went. So I stopped being doomer. And I don't know, I wasn't coughing in the morning. Like when I'm active and I'm moving around, I don't cough that much. And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm not coughing that much. But it's like the moment I sit down on transportation, that I start having coughing fits. And do you not feel like the biggest loser ever when you're on transportation and you're coughing and you're like, oh my god. And like I'm literally en route to a clinic in this taxi, coughing my lungs out. And I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry, taxi person. I don't need it. I don't have the plague, please. Do you ever hold your coughs in public because you don't want them to think that you have the plague? Whenever I was in public, I would constantly, like especially on transport, I would hold back my coughs. But it's painful to hold back your coughs, and then it's like the little tickle in your throat, and then I would cry. I would just sit there because I'm like, it's so painful, and then there's like tears running down my face, and I'm doing my best not to cough so that way people don't think that I'm contagious. I don't know if I was contagious. Gigi Tomo didn't get sick from me. Cici didn't get sick either. Yeah, I feel like that's a really big indicator. But I feel like the entire trip, Cici was drinking, you know, those little tiny vitamin shots. Ever since she got there, she was shotgunning those little tiny vitamin shots every single day. So, I don't know, maybe she was on to something. Yeah, maybe I should have done that too. Anyways, that was my past few days, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me back and listening to my story on how I was sick. That was my entire journey. I've been through a lot. It's been a time, but I feel better. I've been crazy sleeping. I am okay now. Yay!